Hello Scorpio, welcome to Grow to Glow Tarot. This is what you can do for your mental health for the next month or so. Scorpio. Okay, clarifiers for the sun. Ooh. What can Scorpio do for their mental health? Clarify the Queen of Swords. And the Star. Clarify the Star. Okay, so the sun, this is talking about rebirth, growth, getting clarity, coming out of the darkness into the light. Okay, there is a situation where, you're trying to get yourself together, to use your willpower, to have a new beginning in regards to your mental health. There's a situation. I mean, the sun can also talk about ego, like literally the conscious mind, which is the ego state, but it can also talk about ego, like having an inflated ego. So be mindful of that. But here it's mainly talking about getting clarity on a situation where possibly somebody around you had an inflated ego, and they were jealous. They caused you to have small losses. They were always fighting with you, picking a fight. There was communication breakdown because of envy and jealousy. Okay, so this is healing. It's you standing your ground to fight for what you believe in against this person and their hatred of you, their jealousy and envy of you, but also needing to be wary of that ego getting in the way, right? Ten of Wands, where you're feeling burdened, you need to simplify, delegate stuff, put stuff on, auto pay, simplify your life, make things as automatic as you can, make routines and habits as automatic as you can. People in the military, people in professions. Steve Jobs is famous for wearing the same, not the literal same thing all the time, but wearing the same outfit like it was a uniform, right? And people do that. They automate stuff in their life like that because then it frees them up to have more time to do other things, right? So automating tasks not only frees up your time, but it also gets you in this habit and this routine so things don't get missed, so things aren't overlooked because things are too hectic, right? So if I'm in the habit of always doing this at this time every day and I set an alarm to remind myself to do it, no matter how hectic my day is, it's not going to get missed, right? So automate and simplify. Where you've got this Five of Pentacles, where there's this lack of feeling or this actual lack, the poor mental health, you're going to get a breakthrough. You're going to get a change. You're going to get some inspiration on how to improve this and how to simplify and how to let go of those burdens, how to automate things, how to delegate things. You're going to get a breakthrough. Now, this Queen of Swords in the reverse could be somebody around you who's they're either over emotional or they're sort of lacking in emotion. They're like a psychopath or a sociopath. They're overly ambitious if it's a person. Usually it's talking about needing to set boundaries and how you're not setting those boundaries, right? You're not cutting out the things that you need to cut out and the people you need to cut out, and that's why you're not moving forward. That's why you're not transforming, because you're sitting here stuck in a cycle repeat instead of moving on. You're sitting here stuck in this heartbreak instead of moving on from it. Don't be focusing on the heartbreak. Don't be focusing on the betrayal, where you feel like you're not getting out of the cycle and you're not able to improve your mental health and your skill sets around your mental health. It's because you're not setting the boundaries. You're not letting go. You need to let go. And if you're around somebody who's emotionally manipulative, you need to cut them out of your life. Okay? Now the star, it talks about healing. And we've got the Seven of Pentacles, Temperance in the reverse, and the Eight of Cups. So in order to get this healing, to get your wish come true and get your healing, you need to walk away from things that are just giving you short-term emotional satisfactions. They're not bringing you long-term success. They're not bringing you the long-term mental health, the long-term stability that you would like in your life. So these short-term things, they could be anything. Anything that brings you temporary emotional satisfaction, but then it's gone very quickly. So it's like buyer's remorse. You know, you spend all day shopping for something. It's Wednesday before Black Friday when I'm recording this, although this probably won't go out for a little bit. So temporary emotional satisfaction. You spend all day shopping, you buy something, you get it home, you focus on it for an hour or two, the next day you wake up and you're like, oh, I spent that much on it. You know, you look at your bank statement and you're like, oh, this wasn't really worth what I spent on it. And you have buyer's remorse. That's a short-term emotional satisfaction. I've also used like eating a candy bar when you're trying to lose weight, just because you've had a stressful day at work and there's a vending machine down the hall, or at the gas station. And then the next day you're like, why did I do that? I want to lose weight, but you know, I was stressed, but I should have handled it differently. I shouldn't have eaten that candy bar. I should have, you know, done something else to de-stress. So the Eight of Cups, in order to get this healing, and the star, you know, you're halfway. The star came out sideways. So in order to get this healing, you really need to look at what those short-term emotional satisfactions are and what they're doing to you and how they're keeping you down, how they're keeping you divided and unable to get healing, unable to blend together different parts of yourself, different parts of your life in order to connect. You know, how are these short-term satisfactions keeping you from your goals? How are they keeping you from your mental health? How are they keeping you sort of locked in place and not able to achieve what it is you want to achieve? And then we've got the Six of Swords. So this is about being in this transitory period, being on this journey. You see the Hermit there with the wand, and the subconscious and the conscious, so the ego and the id states, in the boat with the soul. And the soul is guiding the boat, and the swords, the thoughts, are just sitting there. You know, they can pick up a sword if they need to defend themselves, but mainly they're just sitting there. They're not stabbing anybody. They're not creating chaos. They're not hurting anything. They're just there, right? And this is helping in the transition, in the transitory period from the negative stormy waters to the brighter waters, to the sunny skies, to the homeland, that they're sailing to, that they're on this boat to. So this is a lot like the Chariot card, because it's about traveling, and it's an interpersonal travel, right? It's traveling to a better place mentally, and it invokes the whole of the person, of you as a person, your soul, your conscious, and your subconscious. So you're really needing to look at where it is you want to go, and your thoughts. You need to remember that you can, like when you meditate, you can just sit there and let a thought go in your mind and go out your mind. You don't have to react to it. You don't have to get emotional about a thought. Somebody says something to you and it's quite negative, you don't have to get all upset about it. You can just let it go in one ear, out the other. The thought can just sit there in the boat. It doesn't have to be said. You don't have to take action on it. It can just sit there. It can go in one ear, out the other. You don't have to absorb it and have it ruin your whole day that somebody said something bad about you. Okay? Now you're going to get Ace of Swords was a clarifier for it. So you're going to get clarity on your thinking. You're going to get clarity on where it is that you're going and how you're going to get there. And we have this Page of Cups, and this can talk about self-love. It can talk about somebody offering you love, but it can also talk about self-love, and it can talk about moving towards that self-love, moving towards having personal grace, inspiration, trusting in your own emotions and your ability to control your emotions. We've got Two of Wands in the reverse, Six of Pentacles in the reverse, and the Devil in the reverse. So where you've not been putting your plans into action because you've been focused on the past or living in the past or childhood hurts, with the Six of Pentacles, it can talk about childhood because that's the past. So where there's this imbalance and you're not taking action towards your goals, you're not planning, you're not moving forwards towards your mental health goals, because you're kind of in the past, you're kind of out of balance because you're in the past. You're going to get some clarity and some movement on it where you can take action. The Devil is in the reverse, and this is good. That means that you're looking at your shadow side. You're looking at the things you've repressed about your life, the things that you don't like about yourself, the things you don't like about your life. You're taking a long, hard look at them, and you're making the choice to move on. You're making the choice to move forwards, whereas before you weren't. And it was causing a lot of imbalance to be stuck. It was causing a lot of negativity and stress. So you're looking to get rid of that. Whatever this big bad devil is in your life, whatever this black thing, this negative thing in your life is, that you don't want anymore. Could be addiction, could be obsession, whatever it is. You're facing it and you're looking to move on. And I commend you on that. That is great. So you're going to be able to move forwards and get control of your emotions when you're facing this and you're looking at it and you're overcoming this, you're moving past it, you're making that choice to live in a way that mirrors your values, to live in a way that you want to live, and you start taking those steps forward. I hope this was helpful. Take care of yourself. Remember to cut out the things that aren't working, the people that aren't working, to set those boundaries, to not give in to the short-term emotional satisfactions, to not give in to the devil, the fears, the anxieties, and keep working on it. Take care.